It's All Today, live from the couch.
Well, now, back in the day, people found the love of their life. They married, they stayed together until the end. But now, not only are multiple marriages an everyday occurrence, open marriages and weekend relationships, they're also becoming more common.
Wow. Stay tuned. Here to talk about the state of modern marriage and what's happening with love is relationship expert and Marie Claire contributor. Way to go, Siggy Flicker.
Look at you.
So what are we talking about? Things have changed dramatically, haven't they?
People are now living longer, but that doesn't mean anything. It's a poor excuse because guess what? People are now getting married later. You know, in 1970, girls, the average age was 21. Now it's 31. So people are looking for excuses to get out of a relationship. Every relationship goes through its boring. You know, it's like going to a carnival. The rides are exciting at first, right? And then after a while, you know what the ride's going to feel like, so you're not as excited. People need to realize that when you're in a relationship and you no longer have those butterflies, you're in a comfort zone. And do you like comfortable shoes?
Yes,
absolutely.
I do.
They're my
go-to.
Nice.
Yes.
I don't need those butterflies all the time. So.
Yeah, but don't you think that multiple marriages, we're seeing a lot more of them because divorce is much easier now?
Yes, divorce. Listen, today you don't have to be unhappy. Divorce is not such a horrible thing. If you're really unhappy, you have an option. Where back then, people used to say, divorce? Oh, don't say it too loud.
And they would whisper about you, yes.
I'm not. So people used to stay in marriages unhappy for a long period of time. Today, if you're really unhappy and you've tried to work it out, divorce is an option today.
What's your take on open marriages?
I think that's a poor excuse for a relationship.
Wait, but we've heard the rumors. You know, Gwyneth Paltrow and Chris Martin reportedly had one, and Demi Moore and Ashton Kutcher.
And that's why they're getting divorced. Why bring sand to the beach? It's complicated enough to have a relationship one-on-one. You're going to bring in 2 or 3 other people. It's a when you're really in love, you don't want to share, a man will not want to share a woman with anybody else, maybe for a night. And by the way, why get married? If you want to be with multiple people, stay away from the marriage.
So you're saying don't go to the beach? I totally missed that.
No. I say why bring sand to the beach? There's already sand there. Why are you complicating things?
Right, but you know what is another complication, which I find very interesting, is these open marriages, but then also these weekend marriages where people are only seeing each other. They kind of make it a more convenient thing where I'll see you when I see you, but we're still married.
No. Do you believe in that?
I would never.
Never. We're old-fashioned in our ways. When a man loves a woman, he will sell his mother, his brother, his sister, and his next-door neighbor for that woman. When 2 people connect, it's great. If you haven't found that chemistry with somebody, it's okay. Just keep moving forward. But let's not make excuses for relationships. There's no such thing as I'll see you on Saturday when I want to have...
Right,
but I want to make love. Exactly. Or when I want to have... No. If you're in a relationship, you've got to understand, a car can't move from point A to point B without filling up the gas tank, correct?
Preach.
A relationship cannot sustain... You've got to put in the effort, and it takes 2 to tango.
So on the script it says, what about the older crowd?
I love the older crowd.
Wait a minute. Let's bring in Ron. Come on in.
Well, older crowd, what are you talking about? This guy is single? Hold on, let's bring in Ron.
Sure. Yeah, I've stayed just so I can listen to the segment.
Please, have a seat.
I want to hear tips.
Okay.
So here's a hockey superstar, a professional broadcaster.
Good looking.
About 55 years old, back in the game.
Still thinking like I'm 25.
Well, that's typical because, you know, I mean, why not?
And don't bring sand to the beach, like bringing food to a buffet, right?
Exactly. And by the way, you should be 25. Age is just a number. And men are supposed to date younger. Women are not supposed to date younger.
I needed to hear that.
And that's a good
But we're not talking 20s. We're talking, like, what's a good age range for him to be looking for?
He can date somebody between 35 and 45.
20 years younger.
Look at what...
That's my cutoff.
Absolutely.
Is 35.
And women look at me...
the life.
Women look at me like, what did you say that? Why? Because men are immature. They're not as mature as women.
Yes, I agree.
Yes.
And it's not about the age. It's about we want to look up to somebody. We want to grow with somebody. I don't need to have children, breastfed my children, and then have another immature person in a relationship that's like, hi, no. You are allowed to date younger.
I so needed to hear this because I feel guilty if I'm talking to a younger woman.
Well, you shouldn't.
It's okay.
No, but Siggy, can I ask you a question?
Absolutely not. You are 100% in the right.
Can I ask you, I believe that the reason why it's difficult for somebody like Ron to find someone is because he's got such an amazing career.
Yes, he's
intimidating. He is a very well-known man. What kind of a woman do you think he should be looking for? Is it a woman that also also has a career?
Well, listen, you can't determine chemistry. He needs to put himself out there, which he did. I was in the green room with him. He started a conversation.
I started hitting on her.
That's great.
He started
Did you miss that?
Listen, no, he started a conversation. I was like, wow, who is he? So good looking and he's tan. And so he's got everything going for him. And he just needs to be honest and open. The woman that's right for you, you can't determine chemistry. Did you think that I thought I was going to marry somebody who had no hair on top of his head?
No.
My list didn't say I want to marry a bald guy that sells Jeep Cherokees, but I fell in love with him. And 8 years later, it still works. What I'm trying to say is chemistry is a mystery. I will match you. The violin's not working
I already
for you.
feel like Chuck Woolery. This has been fantastic.
This is easy. Yes, exactly. We want to see who you end up with. And Siggy, you'll keep us posted.
Yes.
But Siggy Flicker, thank you so much for coming to the couch. We always love having you.
Go Rangers.
All right.